night made C1 football history by winning the state championship for the second consecutive year. North Platte St. Pat survived in an arduous playoff bracket to make it into the final game for the second consecutive year. This season, the Irish were favored, however, over Wahoo Newman. But it was Wahoo that stunned the Irish early in the game. After recovering a St. Pat's fumble in the first quarter, running back Brian Turnwall would get a hole. Then he would get a block, and then he was gone. 72 yards for a touchdown, and the underdogs led 6-0 in the first quarter of play. But Wahoo would not score again until the game was no longer in doubt. In the second quarter, the Irish began to execute on offense. Mike Young with a 38-yard run. Young would finish the night with 191 yards to cap off a beautiful season. And then the Irish went to Mark Dodson. The senior who played in his final game at his first state championship game rushed for 159 yards on the night. And to cap the 8-play, 73-yard drive, Mark Dodson scored from 4 yards out, and the Irish had the lead, 7-6, a lead they would never relinquish. Terry Pell injured his thigh and was gone from the lineup, but sophomore quarterback Sean Burback, and probably the experience of his life, came through. The Irish drove down the field late in the second quarter again, and Dotson would score from a yard out to give St. Pat's a 13-6 halftime lead. In the second half, the Irish defense, just as they had against Battle Creek, buckled down. Chuck Sprague and Mark Dodson with a defensive effort here. And Steve Dodson stuns Wahoo with a crunching second half defensive play. Wahoo could accumulate just 48 yards rushing in the second half. Sean Burback would complete 2 key passes as the Irish put the game on ice, in the ice, with a 63-yard second half drive. Burback found Dodson and then Mike Young. And on the 12th play of the drive, Mike Young found the end zone, and it was 20-6. And for all intensive purposes, the game was over. Young would later break a play for a 69-yard touchdown. John Fleck added a field goal, and Wahoo scored late, but it was way too little. 30-12 St. Pat's over Wahoo Newman. The Irish had not let down, but had become the first C1 team to win back-to-back state championships ever. The Irish finished the year 13-0 and won for the 19th consecutive time. All season long, the character of St. Pat's was tested, but the team did not lose one single time. And now Dodson, Pell, Young, Sprague, they're gone. But next season, new names and new faces will try to defend the state title again and uphold the football tradition that now sets St. Pat's apart from all the rest. Mark Skillstad said that he was simply in the right place at the right time, that he inherited a special group of players. Skillstad took over the Irish head coaching position in time for the 1984 season. Humility is good, even if it's not the whole truth. No other Nebraska coach has ever won back-to-back state titles in their first 2 years of coaching. Skillstad has the knack of getting the most from his players. Whatever the technique, that's the key to successful coaching. On October 12, 1984, the Irish were beaten by Grant in North Platte. That's the day St. Pat's forgot how to lose. The Irish won the state title in '84, and after extending their winning streak to 19 straight, they won their second state title in 1985. This year, both Mark Dodson and Mike Young rushed for over 1,000 yards. The line was led by Steffes, Cromie, Sprague, and others, and Skillstad was humble but outstanding in his coaching. But it's the attitude that carries champions, a way to find a way to win instead of worrying how not to lose. St. Pat's put the thought of defeat out of their minds, and so it never entered into the record books. The high school years are but fleeting moments. Bruce Springsteen calls them glory days. But a winning attitude can carry on through the rest of your life, and that does make a state championship more than just a bright instant. The odds were against it. Mark Skillstad even doubted it could happen, but the Irish players saw the goal, ignored the thought of defeat, and did it. They found a way to win. That's the story of champions, and that's our top sports story from 1985.